Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Hello, my ride or dies. How are you? This is going to be a wonderful month for you. This is the Aries month. So, we're going to be talking about April 2018. I'm going to go over the highlights first, show you which houses are going to be activated for you. Then I'll do a little tarot spread that I did for you guys to give you some answers to let you know what's going on with you. So welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including astrology, tarot, mediumship, all kinds of things to help you on your path. So my Aries, if you've never seen me before, I call you my ride or die because I have Aries friends that are just like, I love my Aries friends. They are down for anything. Like we can go and go and go. And because I'm air and fire with their fire and sometimes their air, we like blow each other up and go but they're always down and fun. And we can like sit there and not say a word, and then we can be going and just never skip a beat. So that's why I call you my ride or die. You're always there, and that's a good thing because somebody always needs somebody there, right? For just in case. When you need to smile, when you need to laugh, when you need to cry. That's how it works with Aries. So, let's get started with the highlights. This is a great month for you. We have started the equinox. I'm doing this on the 21st of March, this video, but moving into Aries, we started the equinox this week, actually, on the 21st, today. So, the sun has moved into Aries for 30 days. We have a new moon in Aries. We have a full moon in Scorpio. Mars is going to be running amok. Mercury goes direct tomorrow, March 22nd. Mercury is going retrograde, but in April, it's already going to be retrograde. And so in April, in the mid-April, it's going to go direct. But we have Saturn and Pluto going retrograde. We have Venus entering Gemini. We've got Chiron entering your sign. And Chiron's going to be entering your sign for 7.5 years. So you're going to be working some stuff for 7.5 years. And then at the end, Neptune brings a beautiful ending to your new phase in life. So here we go, my beautiful Aries. So as I said, Saturn's going to go direct till September 6th. And Mercury's going to go direct April 15th. Pluto is going to be going retro in this month, and it'll be retro till September 22nd, I think. September 22nd. So the first couple of weeks in April are going to be really heavy for you guys, but there's a lot of stuff coming in for you. With Mercury being retrograde, we're talking about endings and completions and redoing, reorganizing, adjusting, amending. There could be a lot of communication going on, miscommunication. But let me say this, whatever happens or whatever you're working in the first few weeks, at the end of the month, it's going to yield manifestations. It's going to yield something. It's going to yield some things. So we have Venus is going to be prominent. You have your sun in Aries for the next 30 days, which when the sun goes into your sign, it's like, happy birthday, Aries, and you get a lot of gifts and a lot of things coming and a lot of clarity and a lot of like movement. And with you guys, there hasn't been movement in the direction that you wanted to go, so for some of you guys. And so this is going to give you clarity about where you want to go. So to me, it looks like your first, second, and 10th houses are going to be the focus of this month. So let's talk about who and what these houses are. So this is your first house. This is Aries. So in Aries right now, you have Mercury starting April 1st. You're going to have Mercury, the sun, you have Uranus, and Venus will be in there for a little bit. So over here, your 10th house, you have Pluto, Saturn, and Mars. And see, Saturn and Mars are talking really closely. So the first house will have your sun. Like I said, it'll have the sun, Mercury, Uranus in there. So this is going to be bringing attention to how you feel, how you look, your self-identity, yourself in relationships. The sun in your sign brings new beginnings. This will mean new beginnings. You'll get inspirations. Mercury being retrograde will mean you've been processing, redoing, amending, completing, even ending relationships. So in the second house is where you have Venus. So Venus in your second house of Taurus. So Venus being in your second house could be acquiring some material pleasures, maybe accepting a new job, a new position. Even your assets can come through there if you've been really like investing in those. And then your 10th house has to do with your life purpose. So Saturn, Mars, and Pluto are in there. Your 10th house is your purpose, your life purpose, your work, the way, your statue, you know, your status in life. And so that's going to be activated. And with Saturn and Pluto retrograding, this means you're going to be redoing some things. You're going to be reorganizing. You're going to be completing some things. And this will be going on till mid-September, but it's going to start in April. And it's going to start like right as we go direct. Mercury goes direct. Okay. So let's break it down not day by day, but I'll give you the highlights. So for Aries on the 1st of April, you have the Sun and Mercury that are exact. So the Sun and Mercury are exact. You see right here where, let me look at this. So the Sun and Mercury are exact in your first house. And this has to do with your self-identity, right? So with this energy, you could be aware also with the Sun and Mercury, you could sort of get an epiphany. You could be aware of like synchronicities. Pay attention to those. Divine guidance can come to you in several ways, depending on how you accept that. Like some of you look for synchronicities. Some of you, your synchronicities come through friends, or synchronicities come through dreams, or messages come through that, you know, those avenues. So pay attention on that day on the 1st. Then we move to the 2nd. So on the 2nd, Mars and Saturn are speaking in your 10th house. So with this energy, you might find things might not go your way, or you bring, so with Saturn being there, it's going to restrict you. It's going to feel like you're not able to do the things that you want to do on this day. Somehow or another, with Saturn being there, it's going to restrict you. And Mars is that energy of push and drive and go, go, go. It's like the Aries energy, right? Well, in fact, it's ruled by Aries. So you have that gusto that want to go, but Saturn is like, wait a minute, we can't go. We got to like slow it down, right? Like I did that one meme where it says Saturn be like, Aries, slow your roll, right? And that's kind of that day that you're going to be feeling like that. So remember, it's also squared Mercury. So there could be some struggles with not being able to say what you really want to say. And also, but on this day, the moon is also conjunct Jupiter in Scorpio. So you're feeling like in this Jupiter house, in the Scorpio house of Jupiter, you could be feeling like you really have to express yourself, and emotionally you need to, but Saturn is going to make you really responsible for how you do this. So you could feel restricted. But when you do it the way that you really wanted to do it on your path, Jupiter expands you. It expands with understanding, it expands with gifts, it expands with the way that you really wanted it done, to get things done efficiently and right, and to keep it like with boundaries, right? So on the 7th, Venus trines Saturn. So this is a beautiful day. Things are feeling brighter, and you could receive, so with Venus trining Saturn and trining Mars and trining the moon, let me move that over to that day so you guys can see. On the 7th, so if you can see this big trine. So this trine is with Saturn, Mars, Saturn and Mars. That's Venus trining Saturn and Mars. And then it's also trining the moon. So it's trining Saturn, Mars, and the moon. So this is a beautiful day for you. You could have increased money. You could get things done that you're really wanting to get things done with. This is an easier energy. Mars it is going to be working with Venus, and the moon is going to be working with Venus, and Saturn is going to be working with Venus to get you those pleasures and those indulgences and those things that you're wanting. And this is happening in your 10th house and your second house. So your second house is really going to be activated. The second house has to do with the value you bring to your identity. So money, finances, cars, homes, spas, like things that you find valuable to yourself, right? And so that's why you could bring that increased money in on the 7th. You could have money just coming in. All of a sudden, you got clarity and you got the answer, and money comes in. Now, this month, you're still going to have this Jupiter sextiling Mars. So, Jupiter sextiling Pluto. So you have lots of opportunity in your 8th house and your 10th house to have other people's money come in, understanding other people's value in conjunction with your values and how you're going to keep your boundaries and how you want your relationships and how you want other people in your life. Like this is how Jupiter's expanding you in Scorpio. So so the 7th is a really good day. So on the 11th, let's move to the 11th. So the beginning starts out may start out a little rough, but on the 11th, on the 7th, you get like that release and you get things coming in. So on the 11th, the Sun squares Pluto, and this is going to be in your first house. So the Sun is squaring Pluto. So this could be a challenging day, and you may feel like everything you try for yourself doesn't come through, and this is because you're learning to give a little more. You're learning the balance about you and others in relationships, right? What you identify with, how you identify yourself, and then the people that you want around you, and what you're willing to give to them. What you're willing to give to them, and not give to yourself. So being a little less selfish. So, but if you can see the bigger picture and expand beyond that ego, you just might find gifts coming through, because Jupiter, like I said before, Jupiter and Pluto are sextiling. So sextiles to me means opportunity. So as you're expanding, when Jupiter sees you expanding, they bring you gifts. Jupiter brings you gifts. So when you can see the bigger picture of, why am I having this relationship? Why is my family the way that they are around me? Why do I have this job? Why am I in this phase of life? Like when you're seeing the bigger picture of where you're wanting to go, of the type of relationships you're wanting, as you're expanding and understanding and less in that ego and more in that higher self, Jupiter brings you gifts. Pluto transforms you, and Jupiter brings you gifts. Okay? So, on the 11th, that might be a little bit of a rough day, but it looks like on the 14th, Jupiter and Pluto have, they're going to be prominent on those days, so you could be receiving some things from the things that you've been working on in this first house, in your identity, and in this 10th house. So a lot of you may be, because you're so driven at work sometimes, or you could be the opposite and not driven at all. You're trying to balance that. Is it worth all my time to do this? I need to remember to love myself. Or some of you may say, well, I have to love myself, and then neglect some of the things that you really want to do in this world that take more time for you, right? And so you're kind of trying to find the balance in that. You're trying to figure out, what do I want to be? What is it? How do I want to leave my mark on this world? What is the status that I want? And that's what this is all about for you in this month. So on the 15th, Mercury goes direct. yay. So all that redoing, all that. So Mercury's in your first house. So all reorganizing, amending, endings, because you could have endings in relationships like marriages. You could have endings in friendships. You could have endings in, jobs. It just kind of depends on where you're at in life. So when Mercury goes direct, the new moon goes into your sign. So that's a great thing when the new moon goes into your sign, because what are new moons about? I have that video about new moons and the steps to take to manifest. This is about you manifesting, you getting gifts, you getting the things that you want. And when it's in your sign, it's especially powerful. So on the 15th, you have that new moon coming in. Well, the new moon's on the 17th, but you'll feel that energy on the 15th when Mercury goes direct. So, and we also have the sun and the moon conjunct Uranus. This can be a very powerful day. So when the sun and moon conjunct Uranus, Uranus is about shock and awe. Uranus wants to shock you. He wants to awe you, right? And so you could be talking about manifestations, opportunities, transformation, miracles happening, right? And so also Saturn, if you look here, Saturn and Pluto are conjunct. So Saturn and Pluto being conjunct, let me move to that 15th and 17th. So the 14th, so the 15th through like the 22nd is going to be kind of tough for like a lot of the signs, but you're going to have it a little easier because it's like Mars is running back and forth. Mars is talking, Mars is wanting to move, and you're used to that energy. And it's about, you're kind of done with that Pisces energy. You're ready to go. You're ready to go. You're ready to get things done. You're ready to go. But with Mars and with Saturn, Mars, and Pluto conjunct, you could be receiving, see, Saturn, Mars, and Pluto conjunct. This is where the manifestation comes in. The opportunities, the miracles, those things that you're really wanting and have been working on. And this has to do with you, with your pleasures, with your love, because it's trining Venus, right? It's trining Venus. So on the 18th, you have Chiron that moves into your sign. So Chiron is going to be moving into your sign for 7.5 years. So you might become aware of old bad habits. You might become aware of old wounds or old hurt. Something could come to light with that. Somebody may come back and trigger that for you. But this is all in the beginning. And you may not feel it like right away, but it's going to come through and it's going to like slowly but surely trigger you so that these things can come up so that you can move through them, so that you can understand. And I do have that Chiron video as well if you want to know what Chiron's about. So also on this day, on the 17th, Saturn is going retro. So Saturn's going to be retrograde till September 6th. That means retro means redoing, amending, reorganizing, endings. So in your 10th house, a lot of you could be changing jobs. A lot of you could have been working on this and moving to the next level of your career. And it's in the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn, if you've been working on that, if Saturn's been having you work on that and focus on that and you've been doing the work, you could be moving to that next level. But if you already have been working on it, it could come through when Saturn retrogrades. If you hadn't, if you kind of been working on it, and you still have some work to do, then when it goes retrograde, you're going to find yourself reorganizing, amending, maybe, really understanding where it is that you want to go, what it is that you want to do. And that's going to be till September 6th. So on the 18th, the sun is direct, or exact, sorry, the sun is exact to Uranus. So this is also, the sun, see, it's going to be exact to Uranus in your house. So this is especially powerful for you, because it's in your house. So remember, Uranus wants to shock and awe, and the sun wants to bring light. It wants to bring new beginnings. It wants to bring clarity. So you could find yourself if you're not paying attention, or you're not dealing with the things you need to deal with, or there's something about yourself that you really want to change but you're refusing to do it, then Uranus likes to come in there and shake stuff up. Uranus likes to come in there and shake it up and shock you and make things happen, and the sun wants to bring clarity to it. So that could be an intense day for you. This is a good day for you to have big transformations. So just remember, Uranus likes to shock and awe, and that sun likes to bring light to whatever's going on. Whatever's been dark, it's going to light it up. All right, so on the 19th, let's move over to the 19th. On the 19th, Saturn enters Taurus, so finance can become better at this point. With Saturn moving in, with Saturn entering, I'm sorry, I said Saturn. I'm used to speaking about Saturn. With the sun moving into Taurus on this day. So the sun's going to be moving into Taurus, and Venus is already there. Sorry. The sun's going to be moving into Taurus, and Venus is already there. So your finances could get better. Taurus is all about finance, and Taurus is your second house. And Venus is in there with your pleasures, the things you love, the things that make you happy. And so you could find that you get a raise if you've been working on that. You could find that you get money that you had been working for. You could find that if somebody owes you money, they could bring that in. You could find that that house comes through, or that car comes through, or whatever it is that you've been wanting. This is about you. This is about your value. And so you could have increased finances on that day, and or you could find yourself being able to go on a vacation or go on a trip. All of a sudden that money shows up to be able to do that. All right, so that's a really good day, the 19th. So the 22nd, let's move on to the 22nd. Pardon me. So the 22nd, Pluto, this is when Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn in your 10th house. So this month is really about you working on you and your career and your life purpose and your status and your networking stuff. Like this is really going to bring that forth. So on the 22nd, Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn. So you could be finding that you're having to redo stuff, reorganize, because now we have Saturn and Pluto that are going to be retrograde, right, at this point. And Pluto will go direct till September. Pluto will be retrograde till September 22nd. So you have both of them in there till September. So there's a lot of reorganizing. There's a lot of redoing. There's a lot of amending. There's a lot of endings. There's a lot of, like, you could be ending your project. Even if it's not your job or your position, there could be a project that you've been working on for a long time. You could be ending it during this time period. But before then, you could find yourself like having to redo, reamend. Just be aware of that. And so and so now we'll have Pluto and Saturn retrograde. So on the 24th is a great day. Venus enters Gemini. So Venus enters Gemini in your 3rd house. So if your work or your job has to do with media, entertainment, blogging, vlogging, if you work with the internet, this is a great time for you to increase your finances. This is a great time for you to, if you've been working on this stuff, if you're in any of that, entertainment, media, blogging, any of that, writing, the internet, this is a time, and you have a business, this is the time that you can increase your resources in this. This is when Venus goes in there, you get increased resources. And this is also a time that you can be inspired, and you could even raise your rates during this time, because if you've been doing the hard work and Venus comes in there, Venus wants to bless you. Venus wants to show you that you have done the work and that they're very proud of you. So you could find increased finances in this time on the 24th. So on the 26th, I mean, I could go over so many things all day long and every day, but I'm just trying to do the highlights. So on the 26th, Mars is speaking to Pluto, so this can be an intense, powerful day. Pluto is about transformation, and this is all in your 10th house. So powerful day. This is the day to get things done. This is the day that you can speak to people, that you can be very poignant with people. But just be sure not to be really intense. Be sure to like hold it back a little, because we can be Aries can be too intense sometimes. So just be sure that you're concise when you're speaking to people. But this is a day where you could get what you want. This is the day where you have transformation. So just be careful not to be too aggressive. Okay? And so you have this whole month of all this stuff going on, and then we have the 29th. And the 29th is a great day. Okay? So the 29th, the Sun trines Saturn. And so this is a day, all that hard work that you have done all month long about dealing with yourself, about dealing with your career, about reamending, reorganizing, about not being able to say the things that you wanted to say, and really taking the high road, but understanding where your boundaries are, and endings with people, and endings with situation, and endings with some of you with jobs. So all of that hard work that you've done on the 29th with the Sun trining Saturn, that's hard work, and Saturn likes to bless you with the heart when you do hard work. So Saturn trines the Sun, and when it trines the Sun, that's in your 2nd house. So that's resources, that's valuables, that's finances. So this is a day where all your hard work from the beginning of the month will pay off. Okay, so this is a beautiful, beautiful day for you. I would say that more so not just on the 29th, but the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. Because to me, when the Sun is the Sun is trining the Saturn, or Saturn's trining the Sun, then Saturn's sextiling the full moon. And sextiling the full moon is in your 8th house of other people's money. So you could get raises, you could get resources, that loan could come through. More about understanding. So your 2nd house, your 8th house, and your 10th house are lit up the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. So this means opportunity for things and money to come in, for situations, for love, for relationships to come in. Whatever you've been working on this month, that's going to start coming in like the 29th, 30, and 31. Okay? 29th, there's no 31, sorry. 29th, 30, and the 1st. Okay? And then I'll talk more about May later, in the May. So this full moon has to do with, it's in Scorpio. Hold on a second. So this full moon's going to be in Scorpio. And full moons are about endings, completions, but things can come through for you. And Scorpio, with this Jupiter here, Scorpio has been really having you go deep in understanding and understanding other people's values compared to your values, and what you're able to take and what you want to take, and where your boundaries are, and what you're going to allow and what you're not going to allow. And Jupiter's expanding that. And when that full moon comes in with Scorpio, it's going to be intense, and you are going to be receiving situations, love, people, things, your heart's desire. This is what I'm seeing for you guys. So now that we got that done, let's go to this. Let me expand this a little bit. Bear with me. So I did this new spread for you guys. It's just a quick spread. So I did a 4-card spread. This is your present position. This is your challenge. This is the fated stuff. This is your destiny, fate, miracles, things that come in. And then this is your outcome for the month. This is for the month of April. So your present position is starting in April. You've got the Knight of Cups. So this is already, and I'll pull an advice card for each. This is already starting off great for you guys, but this is your month, Aries. This is your birthday month. So The Knight of Cups is an offering to me. Could be an offering of love. This could be, and an offering of love could be an offering of a romantic love. This could be an offering of money. This could be an offering of position. This could be whatever love is for you, wherever your focus has been. This is what we're talking about. So you get an offering in the beginning. This is your present position, the beginning of April. So you get this offering. So I'm going to ask what your advice is. So your advice is go with the flow, because this is the Tower. So you guys know what the Tower means. The Tower is anything, and this is felt on an emotional level, this offering. So at first you may find that you don't want it, or you want it in a different way, or whatever. It could be shock for you, or it could be like a little disruptive for you. And so their advice is to remember that it's the Tower, to remember that you said that you wanted to be at a certain place, and they're trying to get you there. But in order to do that, anything that isn't built on a solid foundation must come crumbling down. It has to move and shift so that it can become solid, so that in the future the things that you want, the things that you're trying to achieve, won't go away, will be built on a solid ground. Okay, so that's how the beginning of this is going to be your challenge. So your challenge is the Queen of Swords. To me, this isn't gender specific. This is more about the characteristic. So this person is your challenge, or this character is your challenge. So for some of you, this is a love interest. This is a person that thinks outside the box. This is a person that could be in the military or police force or law enforcement of some type, or even ex-military, ex-law enforcement. This person is really analytical, very mental, like they think really fast. But this person can get moody. This person could get moody. And this could be at work, or this could be a love interest. And so this is your challenge this month. This is your challenge to be able to set boundaries, to be able to say what you want, to be able to not ignore what you really want, to take the higher ground, or not to invest. Because this is how some of you Aries are. You're, things that people do will frustrate you, but you're like, yeah, whatever, I'm not dealing with that, right? Because that's too much trouble. But you have to deal with that, because what you're doing is you're setting the boundary, and you're telling them that it's okay to do this, right? And so if you're really wanting to get to that space where you're trying to find true love, where you're trying to find your career, where you're trying to find your life purpose, then you need to have a talk with this person, okay? And so their advice is the Palace of Coins. And the Palace of Coins is a state of mind. So their advice is to plan out what it is that you want to say before you actually say it to them, because this is going to help you move forward. So plan this out, make it very solid. And this is how you deal with a swords, actually. You come at them like almost like I know this is going to sound heartless, but it's not. I'm just telling you, they're very mental. So you come at them almost like like if you were a lawyer and it's a case. You come at them with the facts, and you come at them with what you want, and you talk to them about how things are and how you want things to be. And this could be at work, or this could be in your love, or this could be a family member. But plan this out. That's their advice. That's going to help you get what you want with them. Now, the fated stuff, the stuff that just comes in, whether the stuff that's on your path, the stuff that's going to shock and awe, the stuff that's going to kind of the Uranus thing. You have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is all about moving into more stable waters, bringing your experiences, coming out of that place of harshness and the ups and downs of life, and it's going to be more stable for you. So something's going to occur where you're going to see the evidence where you're more stable. And this could be emotionally, or this could be physically, right? Where you're just in a more stable place. And so that's the big thing that's coming for you. So they're saying their advice is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is about you standing your ground, about you saying what you want, about you not saying that it's too much trouble and so you're just going to ignore it. You really have to stand your ground. You really have to say what you want. And you really have to, when people come at you, there's a way to do it. Speak to them and this is going to be a big deal for you this month. There's a way to talk to people. Like I'm, you know, when somebody starts raising their voice, you lower it so that you can keep control of the conversation and it doesn't go haywire, right? It's almost like that. It's like stand for what you want, but be concise in what you want, okay? And so the outcome is the Seven of Wands, which is about keeping your ground. What are your boundaries? Saying what your boundaries are. For some of you, it could be relationships. Somebody may be taking advantage of you in relationships, and you're like, well, I like spending time with them, but, you know, they don't really want to open up to me, but I really do like spending time with them, so I'll just kind of keep spending time with them. But I really do like them, and I'm wondering where this is going, but then you don't talk to them about it. You got to talk to them about it, and this is what this is about. This could be in your work, too. So their advice is... the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is about past relationships, the past and how that has affected you. For some of you, this could be somebody coming into your life again from the past. But for others of you, this could be an actual soulmate. So a soulmate that feels like you've known them. And so they're saying when you learn how to say what you want, not in an aggressive manner, and not like barking, but really say and do what you say you're going to do, then you're going to get to the space where this person is, whether that's in your work or whether that's in romance. It's this connection that you have, this soul connection where you're wanting to be. And so some of you may be dealing with somebody from the past, but some of you may be dealing with a soulmate. And that's sort of at the end what's going to be going on. All right, my gorgeous ones, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful April. Happy birthday to you guys. I'll see you later. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.